Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. The Pieces of Quark in Fukuoka. If you haven't seen part one, link in the description. A blue-dialed Milgauss, that red tag means somebody's thinking about buying this watch. As you know, this is the most popular of the modern Milgauss watches. It's got the GV glass. Back when they didn't do the GV glass, you could get this one right here. Now this is selling for quite a bit cheaper. In a way, that's kind of surprising because when Rolex stops doing something, it tends to become more popular, but I guess people like that GV glass, or more so, I think they really like the dial. I mean, the one on the right is just a little too plain. That blue dial is much more beautiful, but maybe the non-GV glass ones will take off in the future. Well, truth be told, it's already taken off, but it's all relative, and some pieces have certainly fared better than others, but I'm surprised this LN isn't going for more. I mean, it was discontinued, the price shot up, then it kind of came back down. Now it's kind of going up more organically, but it still can't hold a candle to the prices of its modern counterparts, even though it's a discontinued end of an era all-black GMT. So that's strange to me. Also surprising is the price on this. I mean, these are hot pieces, but this is a really high price. I gotta ask myself, is it because it's a Swiss-only dial? Future Collectible, have they recognized it as such? All right, case in point when it comes to that ceramic LN is this piece. I mean, they're still making this piece, yet the discontinued end of an era piece is going for less. And I think it really might just come down to the fact that people like the BLNR more. They'd rather wear it. So, speculation can only take you so far. I mean, serious question. Which would you rather wear? For me, I'd have to go with the BLNR. A trio of two-tone subs. On the left, a Surrey dialed pre-ceramic. In the middle, the first generation ceramic. And on the right, the contemporary ceramic bluesy. The Surrey dial sub is an A serial, so that's a 1999 piece, Holes case, and hollow inlink bracelet. 3 pre-ceramic Kermits, and quite a price discrepancy between the one on the left and the two on the right. That's because this V serial from 2009 is unused. The middle piece is an M serial from 2007-2008. Both the pieces on the left have the plastic card and engraved rehot. The one on the right is an earlier Z serial, and it's got a non-engraved rehot and papers. Now I remember back in the day when 3.5 million yen got you a Fat 4 Kermit. Now you just get the standard one for that. Brand new at an authorized dealer, this will be $2,500 less. Here, this is a used piece, so paying more for less, but hey, that's the gray market for you. Now this is just the regular blue dial, which they've been producing for years, but if it was the blue Jubilee dial, which is new, it would be going for $5,000 more. Contemporary GMT Battle of the Premiums, BLNR versus Pepsi, and the Pepsi takes it. The BLNR still put forth a noble effort that is indeed wallet destroying, but nothing compared to the Pepsi. Some standard black subs. Feel free to pause the video, but we've got to talk about the cage match, Hulk versus Cermet, and the Hulk takes it. Is this justified, or is the Hulk all hype? Well, I don't think so. That dial is really special on the Hulk. The one on the left, it's not. It's just a regular black dial, and you get a green bezel either way. Another cage match coming up, the Smurf versus the contemporary black dialed, blue bezeled, white gold sub, and the new piece takes it. The black dial with its boring black dial, but beautiful blue bezel. That's the more desirable piece. You think the Smurf would take it because it's got a beautiful blue dial, but you know what? That blue dial, it's a flat color. It's a beautiful dial, but it doesn't pop like those old bluesies, those pre-ceramic bluesies, and I think that's a problem. But nothing like the problem in the next cage match, Battle of the Deep Seas, James Cameron versus Blackie, the Black Ness Monster. And JC takes it, and that's no surprise. I mean, if you could get these pieces at an AD, why would you go for this piece? The JC kills this, and I actually feel sorry for this piece because the JC is just so much more interesting. I mean, how can this piece even compete with that gradient dial? I'm actually surprised this is only about 3,000 more. I think that dial, well, I think in the future, this is going to take off when it's gone. I mean, I think that $3,000 is money in the bank. So the one on the right, that's the one I would go for. Who wouldn't? Is there anybody out there that would go for the one on the left? That poor thing. Let's give it a rematch. Oh, Blackie, you're trying, man, but you can't compete. Now, these are both new pieces you're looking at, and you know the story of the green text. That was the color of the submersible that the director James Cameron took to the bottom of the sea, and this is the piece that commemorates that. This is the regular version, no interesting colors. It's still a tank of a watch, and if you're headed to some of the deepest parts of the ocean and your submersible needs a watch on its arm, well, you can't go wrong with either of these. Another cage match, a regular contemporary date sub versus the Cermet, and the Cermet takes it. And that's no surprise. That's like David versus Goliath, and you're looking at Goliath right there, but didn't David win in that story? And maybe the black sub is the more wearable piece long term. Maybe that's how it wins. But the premium says this is a more desirable watch, and so it's the more desirable watch. I mean, forget about taste, good taste, long-term wearability, any of that stuff. We go on prices here. And look, which would I go for? Oh, that's tough. I mean, this is so special. I'd probably have to go with this, but I do think this is more sort of tasteful and just, it's normal. Is it too normal? I don't know. I guess it depends on what you want with your watch. You want something kind of subtle, or do you want to like flex? Well, that's subtle flexing, the one on the left. More flexing? You want more? Well, Hulk. I suppose we could have had another cage match, but these two pieces are in different weight divisions. And on price alone, this piece is going for more, but that makes sense because there's precious metal in this watch. But yen for yen, this piece really is holding its own. I mean, this is a steel piece. They're really completely different, so hence no cage match here. Regular sub versus a really blingy sub. All right, next up, Battle of the Explorers, black versus white. And the white takes it. First, let's interview the loser. All right, well, it doesn't have a cool nickname like the Polar, and it doesn't remind you of snow on Mount Everest. So that's the problem, I think. And hey, this is a beautiful watch. And of course, it's the only professional white dial watch that Rolex does. So I think justified. Now, how would that black one fare against a previous Polar? I wonder. And one enters the ring, and it holds its own. It still beats back the black. On par with his contemporary, it holds its own indeed. I mean, these are the same prices. Why is this thing as much as the one on the right? I mean, this is the older version. I mean, which would you go for? You'd be paying the same, so you'd go for that one in the middle, right? Get the latest movement and the bragging rights. Ceramic Daytona Duke out, and nobody's surprised. I mean, this is like a Chihuahua versus a Pit Bull, all right? But, hey, look at that red tag. Somebody wants to take home the Chihuahua. No, that's not fair. More accurate, it's like a Doberman versus a Pit Bull. I mean, you'd put money on the Pit Bull, but the Doberman's going to give it a run for its money. Hey, it's going to give you a run for your money. All right, that'll do it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing, throw in a comment, give me a thumbs up. Take care, and I'll see you next time.